Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new day in VUU basketball. I'd like to welcome everybody who's made it here, Panther Nation nationwide, the fans, the players, media, and friends and family of our new coach. I'd like to welcome you all. Like I said, this is the first day of a new era in Panther basketball. I'm Jim Juneau, the Sports Information Director, and we're going to have Coach Taylor, Joe Taylor, come up, and then he will introduce our new coach. And then after our new coach finishes his speech, we will open it up for Q&A. So I relinquish the microphone now to Coach Joe Taylor.
I always tell Jimmy sounds like he's on ESPN. But, the room says it all. The room says it all. This is truly an historic day in VUU basketball. We are here to introduce our 11th head men's basketball. But before I do that, and I use the word historic because if you look at the year that has just passed, we started off this fall, and we, at this place, VUU, we had the first ever Holland Hill Trophy winner, indicating the best top player. Well, our new coach, he was the player of the year back in 1990, some 36 years ago. But again, a full circle moment. Then for the first time, and we don't know how this happened, we were able to win an indoor track championship. We don't even have a track. But again, those are the kinds of things that happen on Lombardi. Now, I want to say in 1989, 1990, our new coach, he won CIAA championships. So again, you're talking about a guy that not only understands what the tradition is, but one of the architects of the tradition. If you take out a list and you scroll down of all the outstanding alumni that graduated from this place, you start, of course, with the L. Douglas Wilders, but you don't go too far down the list before you see the name A.J. English. Well accomplished, I think, Hall of Fame for VUU. He's a Hall of Fame for the CIAA. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Delaware State Athletics, and, much more to come. Now, I'm supposed to give all this information about Player of the Year, number of times he was, Player of the Year. But what really impressed me was that he looks at coaching as a ministry. He raised an outstanding family. The daughter is the oldest. I think she's 37. 2 sons that both played in the NBA. And the question was asked, why now? And his answer was, I raised my family. In fact, he stepped away from coaching so that he could help develop his own sons, who are both NBA players. European, professional. Okay. But also the thing that impressed me was, as he addressed the young men, he didn't talk about being just champions on the court, but his interest is that they become champions in their communities. To go out and, speak to young people, pour back into them what was poured into him. So again, that's what we are looking for here. Young people who In fact, whenever we meet, we always talk about the experience of the young people. It's our job to make sure that the young people who comes through this athletic program not just be winners on their prospective sports, but first of all get that degree and become productive citizens in their community. And I know that's what's happening. So when he was asked the question, he said, now that that's done, I'm in a space now in my life where I can pursue my dream job. And his dream job was to return to his alma mater and put it back on the map, national map, where he took it while he was here as a player. We are beyond excited because, again, this is a great day. And I use the word, historic, and he'll say some things that will let you know how historic it really is in terms of, and I guess I can say this, I don't know if we've ever had a coach that has NBA experience. But not only the head coach, but his top assistant, and Terry Davis. His roommate while here at Virginia Union. And we don't want to hear none of the stories because we know there's a lot of them. But the bottom line is to have our young people being led by that kind of experience because, again, the definition of a coach is somebody who takes people to places that they cannot go by themselves. And if you have the capacity to build you probably have a blueprint for building others. Again, an historic day. And I didn't, I'm going to sit down. You all didn't come to hear me talk. So without further delay, please help me to introduce to some and just remind others that a new day in our 11th head basketball coach, Terry Davis and A.J. English. Come on. Looking forward to working with you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, get this right here. Right. All right. Appreciate that. All right. God is good. God is so good. For me, the basketball part and the coaching part, that's going to be the easy part, But getting the community back engaged with Virginia Union University, that's what AJ English is all about. Seeing some old faces, meeting some new, and just rekindling that old tradition, the old tradition that I came into with Virginia Union, and we're trying to take into the future with Virginia Union. I wouldn't be here without, of course, my mom. I remember my mom dropping me off. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, right? Grew up in a single parent home, and I remember I told my mom, the story, I couldn't go to D1, spoke to coach and messed around in my grades my freshman year, so I couldn't take advantage of those scholarships that I had on the table. Spoke to coach, and coach said, you know what, son, you can do the same thing here. If you come in here, work your tail off, and do what you're supposed to do. So here we are, almost 40 years later. I remember coach sitting in my living room in Wilmington, Delaware, and telling my mom and me that he was going to take care of me. And I appreciate you, coach, because you did. You did. Every year I was here, we were number one in the country. Every year. At some point during the season, whether it was the beginning of the season, during the course of the season, we were number one in the country. And that was the expectation. The bar was raised high. But the bar was raised high before A.J. English even stepped on Virginia Union campus. And I visited some Division I schools, Villanova, Providence, and they didn't. When I came to down here to play, they didn't have the talent that Virginia Union had in the gym. We didn't have the facilities, but they didn't have the talent. I was fortunate enough my freshman year to play on the team with 2 other NBA guys. We didn't know we were NBA caliber guys, but we were just here pursuing our dreams at the time. So when Coach reached out to me, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. When I spoke to Dr. Lucas, and then I immediately, said, let me call my roommate. And when I call everybody, call him Big Dog, Stopper, or whatever, I call him Top. That's my guy, right? And when I called him and we got to talking, and he heard me out, and I said, listen, if I do this, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need my big fella. I said, well, hey, I don't know if I want to coach, the grandbabies. I got grandbabies too, and the family, and, I listened, heard him out. I still ain't hear nothing to say, why you can't coach. And at the end of it, he said to me, what Coach Taylor just said. He says, hey, you know what? If you do it, I'm going to do it. He said, because I know you're not just only going to be a coach, but this is going to be our ministry. And that's what he said to me, exactly what he said to me. So I called Coach Robbins back, and I said, yeah. And so got to tell you, Coach didn't tell me what job it was the whole time. And I told Coach, I said, well, if I coach, the only place I want to really coach at is Virginia Union University. I'm not really interested in getting into coaching nowhere else. And turned out to be Virginia Union University. So, God worked in mysterious ways. And but this moment isn't about A.J. English, right? This moment is about Virginia Union University and all of these young men that are here representing Virginia Union University. So I'm in charge of helping these young men become men, productive citizens in their community. They're going to end up being husbands and fathers and, things of that nature. So the mentoring part and showing them how it's supposed to be done rather than just telling them. So, they're loving up on Coach now. They feel good about Coach now or whatever. In a couple months, they probably ain't going to like Coach, And that's okay. And that's okay. As long as the end of the rainbow, that pot of gold is there for them and whatever that is in their future endeavors. All right? Everybody's going to, everybody thinks they're going to make it to the NBA or play professionally or whatever. I pray that all of them do. But if they don't, they're going to be able to be successful in whatever they choose to do in life. So for me, it's just full circle. This is just full circle. So it's not something we got to invent. We're not reinventing the wheel. It's just pushing the legacy forward. I appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody, expressing how they feel about Virginia Union. And I am so excited of some of the calls that I got, people I haven't heard from in years, from Virginia Union, just how excited they were about the program and the support from the, from the top, that they're saying, like, whatever you need, to help these young men become successful. So I'm going to be demanding, but the demanding part is to take care of our legacy, which is Virginia Union basketball. Love you guys. Hope y'all continue to love me because I'm going to love up on y'all whether y'all like it or not, but we're going to work hard. We're going to make sure we do what we're supposed to do on and off the basketball court. Continue to be student athletes and student first. All right? Appreciate everybody for coming.
In fact, this is going to be a Q&A session, but before I do, I just need to recognize some special people. First of all, Dr. Moore, He's the vice chair of our board of trustees. Nicole Parker, again, board of trustees.
My sister. My sister. My sister.
Then the lawyer, the attorney.
Jay Green. Did he sneak out? There you go. Who mom was alumnus of Virginia U.
I'm sorry, from the president's office, Dr. Haywood. Thank you. And again, when I look at the size of the audience, it speaks for itself. But anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? John O'Connor, Times Dispatch.
How you doing, John?
Coach English, for people my age,
Yeah.
we recognize your name. I wonder if you might think it will resonate with prospects, or that ship has sailed and you're just another coach to them.
Well, for me, most of these kids don't know who I am. You know, and it's not about who I was, but who I am now. So I'm not selling, AJ English, the basketball player. I'm selling AJ English, the coach, the mentor, the leader.
Can you share with people where you've been in terms of your coaching experience and what prepares you for this position?
Well, I was a head coach of Salem Community College. I did that for 2 years. Had some success and took a lot of local kids. Right, we were some foul shots in triple overtime from going to the Final Four that year. My boys got older, and they were playing on a AAU team takeover, a Nike team out of DC. So the commitment was to them as a father first, to make sure that they got where they're supposed to be. And then what I did continue to do is train, run my basketball programs. I started a student athlete program with the former Mayor Baker in Wilmington, Delaware, where we engaged student athletes to help them to go to college. So I stayed involved. And one of the kids that were in that program is on Virginia Union's basketball team, Travis Vaughn, who's been with me since he was 10 years old. And the other kid was Nashawn Bones Highland, who played over at VCU.
Just to be clear, you really didn't have interest in becoming a college coach until this position
Just Virginia Union.
became a
Yeah, I want to make that clear. Just Virginia Union.
Coach Inglis, are you going to be one of the things, I'm from Richmond, I went to school here, and one of the things that I noticed over the years is that I don't believe that we did a fair enough job in recruiting local talent, such as Coach Robbins did during his championship years. What's your feeling about recruiting local talent from the Richmond area?
I believe you have to take care of your backyard. You have to take care of your backyard first, because that's the talent pool that's going to be more accessible to you. So once you take care of your backyard, then you build out. Any of the players got any questions? Got one right here.
What's up, Coach? If you had one word that you want to describe for how you want this season to go, what would the word be?
Blessed. 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 Blessed coming in, blessed going out. So blessed.
All right, we're going to wrap up the press conference. The TV people I know are going to want to do some one-on-ones with Coach AJ. So, Coach Taylor, would you like to close us out?
Yeah, and we're going to do this the right way. First of all, I'll tell everybody that going to be successful in life, you need mentors in your financial decisions, your business decisions, spiritual, and certainly your career. Eddie Robinson could have blocked his phone, he would probably have, because I really used to wear him out. But I want to bring up AJ's mentor, the resource that you don't have to read about. He's right here. I would like for Dave Robbins to come up and have a few words, as well as Terry. All right, both of you all, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to say what an outstanding job Jay Butler did, and we wish him well at Winston-Salem, except when he plays us, and we don't wish him well. I can honestly say that this year's team is the most talented that I have seen at Union in years, and I told Jay that they honestly had a chance to win the national championship. You never know how the ball's going to bounce, and we had some tough breaks, but 25 wins is outstanding. And I hope that you'll stay, and if you jump from school to school, it's okay basketball-wise, but it's not okay graduating-wise. You'll lose credits if you go from a Virginia school to a North Carolina school in most cases. So please stick together, and you will be elated with the ability that AJ and Terry and any other assistants that he has on board will help you. I watched the team this year, and they were just small mistakes that they made that I wish I could have come out and corrected, but I wasn't invited, and therefore, and I know the game has passed me by, but anyway, you've got a great bunch of young men here, and you got two fine coaches that have done it, and like Terry, he's going to work with all the big guys. I was a guard years ago, and I could work with the guards better than I could the big people. And I always had someone else that could do that. Terry helped us years ago. But anyway, it's a great day. AJ is a super choice, and I am so glad that he also chose Terry to come and help. And we're going to put Union back on the map, not one CIAA championship in 10 or 11 years, but a bunch. And we're going to win another national championship within the next 4 years. Terry.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm definitely excited to be back. One of the reasons I'm excited to be back because there wouldn't be no Terry Davis if it wasn't no Dave Robbins. And Coach Robbins, I tell you, man, we was just sitting there talking. I had the opportunity to go to the University of Georgia coming out of high school, but at the last minute I decided to come here. And, man, was that the best decision of my life because everybody talk about the NBA and that life, but my 4 years here was the best 4 years of my life. And one of the main reasons why when AJ called that I wanted to come back and really be assistant coach is because of Calvin Duncan. Stand up, Cal. Yeah. Thanks, Cal. Cal is a pastor here, but 40 years ago, he was my assistant coach when I was here. And every day, we had screaming, Jesus, 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 every day in practice. And back then, Coach, I didn't understand what that meant, but, man, you don't know how instrumental you were in my development, in my growth of being a player here at Virginia Union. And like I said, I told the players the other day, I said, part of me being here is I'm that coach you could come talk to. You could talk to about anything. And even with AJ being the head coach, I don't share it. It's between me and you. And I say that to say one of the great stories, we was in practice, and I got a call from my kid's mom. And I said, Coach Duncan, I got to go to the hospital right now. And we got to go right away. And there's a hospital right back here at St. Mary's. And he told Coach Robbins didn't even really know why we was leaving. We just left practice in emergency. We got to the hospital, me and Coach Duncan, we went up. They said, we got to go up to the second floor. We got up to the second floor, and they said my girlfriend then had just had a baby. So that's why I love being assistant coach, because it's because of you, Coach Duncan. Thank you so much for having me, and we are going to win.
Okay, again, a new era, new era. Now, there will be an opportunity for one-on-one with the media, with all that, here. And so with that being the case, thanks to all of you for coming. A new day is dawn. Thank you.
Hey, all right. One more thing for the players. I know y'all probably will play. We're going to go out to eat, so we're going to try to get in there. But we're in the gym tomorrow morning at 10. All right? 10 o'clock. All right? See you then. All right? Hey, quick question. I'm 58. No, I've been living in Middletown, Delaware. I was raised up in Wilmington. Yeah, in Delaware. Albert J. English. Yeah, because they're initials.